Where are you going? Going so fast tonight.
In this episode of Up and Adam, there is a lot going on. My rental house gets flooded, which starts a full renovation. Later, I get to go over to Dolphin Island, Alabama, where I meet up with Matt Minyard, and we fly from the east end of the island all the way out to the west. On our way out, Matt's doing a foot drag along the beach, and he comes pretty close to a shark. On the way back, my brake lines get twisted around my risers, which could have caused me to crash and die. Spoiler alert, I don't crash and die. Unfortunately, Matt got eaten by the shark. However, it was a great trip. Check it out.
Stuck on an island, no food, no tent.
Check out the view. The good news is I have the day off. The bad news is that the weather is garbage and I won't be flying. If you can see this line of trash in my yard, look at this. This is from the amount of rain that we got last night. The road was flooded. You can see where the water pushed up to in my yard from all that trash there. I'm gonna go check out another property that I got and take a look at it. My kid went by last night and he said that it definitely took some water on the inside. We got like 7 inches last night. It's horrible. So I gotta take a look over there and see how much damage I have and how much work I have laying ahead of me. I don't know when I'll get to fly again because now I've got to do all this work. Once I get the work done, then I'll be moving on up to the skies. All the neighbors, the houses got flooded. Unfortunately, my house is flooded right here. I've got a rental. See people across the street, everybody's pulling furniture out of their places. Look at that guy. I feel so bad for him. Everything in his house slopes down beyond the road there, so everything's destroyed. It's horrible. Fortunately here, this is a 2-story house. You can look at the water line on the outside of the house here. See how the water line comes up? There's the back door of the house. And then on the inside, on the front door, you have to actually step down when you're in the living room going into the kitchen. So this is the living room here. You can see the water line on the door there. And maybe you can see the discoloration on the couches. Darker at the bottom, lighter on the top. All these couches are destroyed. The walls are destroyed. Going into the kitchen, all of the kitchen cabinets got to come out. Everything here is ruined. Look at this. See it's all particle board. Dishwasher's got a water line up here on it, this high. Washing machine's probably no good. The refrigerator is definitely toast. I already checked it out, it's garbage. There's a brand new stereo in a box. Brand new, never been opened, destroyed. See, the walls have started to warp and swell, and it even cracked the bottom of the toilet. Maybe the air that was trapped underneath when it lifted the toilet, but the toilet is now cracked, which is crappy, literally. Fortunately, I didn't get it as bad as some of the other people around, and I feel bad for them. I'm not sure how you could help out the local community, but I know one way you could help me. Hit that subscribe button down below. Let's keep this going. Well, the day of fun is just beginning. I've already got some of the drywall and stuff pulled out of the inside. We've got it mostly done inside now. Let's go take a look. There's no electricity. That's what the walls look like now. Everything's just down to the studs and the block. Anyway, so this just gives us a great opportunity to just go ahead and do it the way that I want to get it done. We're gonna do open cabinets there, you know, the subway tile, the stuff that everybody's doing on HGTV. We're just gonna copy and do the same kind of stuff. We're slowly getting closer to having a blank canvas upon which we can start to paint. So it's kind of exciting. Well, now that the renovation process is underway, I'm gonna keep you informed on how that's going. However, since I've got some of my work done, I'm allowed to go play. I talked with Matt yesterday. He said we were gonna meet up at Dolphin Island today, do some flying there. We're gonna spend the night there and then wake up and fly again tomorrow, which is really exciting. But I can't just leave my paramotor sitting in the back of my truck the whole time while I'm staying inside of a hotel room. So I went and got this trailer. I'm not the only one flying today. My wife and kids are heading to Florida for a couple months. So it's just gonna be me and my baby. My other babies are gone. So this baby, we're gonna be fine. I got a whole big old trailer with nothing in it except for this stuff right here. The necessities. Well, I have driven for hours to get here to Dauphin Island, Alabama, where Matt Minyard and some other people are waiting. We're gonna be flying around over the beaches. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So here we are, Dauphin Island Airport. It's just a little thing, it's pretty cute. I'm about to break my stuff out, get it all laid out, get prepared and ready for them just in case I get to fly. It's feeling a little bit windy. I don't know that it's too much. Maybe it's okay? I'll let him tell me. Get it, Matt, get it! So here's Matt doing a series of wing overs. This guy is awesome. Nice wing overs, man.
Yeah. So cool. Dude, I double tapped by accident doing the move and it was calling somebody. I had to hang up.
Hey, Steve.
What up?
Bonnie, perfect landing. That was nice.
Adam.
Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the
This is my first launch from Dolphin Island and I go right out over the water. One of the questions that I get often is how dangerous is the sport? Well, here is a statistic for you. I'm gonna try not to sound drunk while telling you this. I've had to do this take several times. One of the questions that I get about this sport is how dangerous is it? Well, here's a statistic for you. So here's a statistic for you. A statistic for you. So the #1 cause of death while paramotoring happens to be drowning. Imagine that you're buckled in with the shoulder straps here. You've got a chest strap that goes across, a midsection strap. You've got straps across both thighs and you're trying to fly over a large body of water. If you were to run out of gas or have a motor out, you go into the water, you've got the weight of this machine pulling you downward. Meanwhile, you're trying to unbuckle from all those locations. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out and many die that way. So Matt hooked me up. I've got a flotation device on either side of the machine that if it gets wet, it'll automatically deploy and it's strong enough to lift me and the motor, but I've got one on each side. So if one doesn't work, hopefully the other does. But if they both work, that's a great thing. That would keep me neutrally balanced where I could make my escape. However, if they don't deploy, I can manually do so by pulling on one of these toggles. I've got one on each side. So I'm kind of worried about landing in the water and drowning, but not so much. That's my safety net. So this is Dauphin Island, Alabama. When I put in the search for Siri to bring me here, she tried to take me to Dauphin Island, Canada. I'm sure it would look a lot different than this. This is gorgeous.
Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road? Smell the rose of life. Take a breath now.
My wife April has never been to Dolphin Island but really wants to see it. I'm sure this is not the view that you had in mind, babe, but here you go, check it out.
Little song, she's saying.
This is the bridge that brings you on to the east end of the island, and there's the airport from where I launched. That way down there is the west end of the island. That's where I'm headed. Yeah, so right now I'm at 1,300 feet and I'm looking over Dolphin Island. It's a beautiful view. I think it's kind of neat how on the one side you have the beach life and here on the other side you have the boat life, right? So you got the side that comes in from the mainland over here, and then that's all on the north side of the island. And then on the south side of the island, that's out in the Gulf there, and that's where the beach happens. That's where you're gonna get the waves and all the good activity. It's kind of neat how they got it divided like that. It's kind of neat that I'm over 1,000 feet in the air flying above an island. That's cool! My ground speed is 31 miles an hour. Yesterday, I was ground speed at 34 miles an hour. Check out how the water looks like a piece of woven fabric here. This is something you will not see while standing on the shore. It can only be seen from above. And yes, that is the Loch Ness Monster. I'm watching Matt flying down below me and he's doing a foot drag. That's where both of his feet are skimming along the top of the water while he's maintaining altitude. I'll do that one day, but right now I'm just trying not to die. However, Matt's flying along and just off to his left, I see about 20 feet or so offshore is a shark. With my naked eye, I can see it plain as day that it's a shark. However, on the GoPro, you're seeing such a big view, it's hard to focus in on it, but undoubtedly it is a shark. But keep in mind, just a few miles back along the same shoreline, that's where all those people are swimming at the beach. I'm still a new pilot. While I'm flying around, I'm being real cautious, making sure I've got a place to land in case I've got a motor out, making sure there's no other pilots near me. I don't want to turn too sharply and cause a mid-air collision or something like that. But as I look over to my left, while being cautious, I see Matt Minyard. He's a good distance out, but here he is tumbling downward doing wingovers.
Stuck on an island, no food, no tent.
Check out the view. We land on this little island just long enough to walk around and say that we did it. We had to get back before the sun went down, so it wasn't too long and we were back up and at 'em. You see this orange line moving up and down right here? That's my brake line. See how it's moving free and clear? That's how it should look. You see how this orange line is wrapped around my risers? That's no good. That's a bad thing. I'm not sure how this happened, but what you can see is I'm flying pretty low. So I know that altitude won't kill me, but flying into the ground could. So I've got to get away from the ground. And unfortunately, because it's my brake line that's twisted around my riser, I can't land and fix it. I have to have my brakes in order to land. So the number one thing I've got to do now is I've got to gain altitude and I've got to untwist it. However, keep in mind that this is the brake line that's on my right side, which is the same side as my throttle, which means I'm also going to be letting off of my throttle so that I can untwist this brake line, which means I'm going to also be losing altitude there. So I had to gain plenty of altitude, untwist my brake line, then I could fly away. Everything worked out great. This was a sketchy moment, but it was pretty cool because it's a learning experience and I lived through it. Here's proof, I'm standing here, but you can also see me landing at the airport back at the other end of the island from where I took off. So here's a small suggestion in case you ever plan on flying over a beach. I feel that 400 feet is probably the right altitude. You can still make a decision and land if you have to, but it's not so high up that you don't enjoy the view and people look like ants. It's just my personal opinion. However, thank you so much for watching this video. I had a beautiful time making it. Be sure to share, like, subscribe. Thank y'all, love y'all, God bless.